and you realize, maybe I was a little too hard on that person, or maybe that wasn't the right timing, or is it really big picture worth running them out of my business by being a little too harsh or hard on them? And putting in perspective of like, look at all that they do for me, and just spending that time of like, look at all they do for me. Look at how hard they're working. Like, what are they truly looking for? Like, are they trying to do something wrong, or are they trying to succeed and be helpful? Do I think that they wanted to do that? What would they have gained if they wanted to do it the wrong way? Nothing.
Yeah.
So you have these moments of just like, maybe I need to say sorry. And so, what I've learned through the years is don't let that linger. There's so many times where I've just called a team member up and said like, hey, when I said that thing about this, that probably wasn't the right way to say that, or that wasn't the right timing. And I'm sorry. Like, that's on me. I spoke too harshly, or I didn't mean to make you feel bad. When you think about work, I don't want it to be this thought. I want it to be that you love what you do, and that you feel like you have a boss that appreciates you, because I do appreciate you. And so I would just say, for me, I'm constantly wondering, should I apologize to that person? Because it's hard, because I do drive them hard, and it pays off. But and I do think they enjoy what they do. They tell me that all the time. We do anonymous surveys, and they come back positive as a leader. But I do know that a lot of us getting along, and a lot of leadership that I feel like is a two-way street, is being able to know when you screwed up and go back to them and say, hey, I'm sorry I screwed up. That's on me. It's not always point the finger. It's, they say you point the finger and there's 3 or 4, whatever it is, depends on how many fingers you have on one hand, I guess, but point back at you. So you got to take ownership of what you're doing as a leader.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting, because I think that's something I've struggled with off and on over the years too, because I feel like I'm very strict on myself, and I want to be very disciplined. But when you portray that or push that on other people, it doesn't work very well. And I think a couple of years ago, someone told me, and this is, I love this advice. I still adhere to it as best I can. But they basically said, be as hard and strict on yourself as possible, but be as lenient and grace filled for or with other people. So it's almost like I can be strict on myself, I can set rules, and I can, be hard on myself. But when it comes to other people, I've got to like know that they're trying and not just be mad. Because one of the things I used to do, which I realized this several years back, is like, if I felt like someone, either wasn't trying, or maybe they let me down or something, I would just, instead of like talking through it, I would just cut communication, or I wouldn't make eye contact or something like that. And like, you could feel it. It's like I wasn't saying anything, but I was almost disconnecting, and it was a bad habit I was in. So I still fight through that habit sometimes, but I definitely think I'm trying to get better with it. But being a leader is not easy, Chase. It's like, you're talking about it. It's never ending. Like, there's not, like, you don't ever get to the mountain. You're like, oh, I've made it as a leader. I've done everything right. Everything from this point forward is going to be easy. It just doesn't work like that.